What's up, everybody? Welcome to Sector for Nerds. Today we're going to be chatting about Ahsoka Part 7. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friends, your family. Let them know that Sector for Nerds is the place to be. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, you guys, on this channel. It's a goal that I've been working towards for so long. It would mean so much to me if we can get there. And I also have another YouTube channel called Top 10 Character Moments. If you guys could subscribe there as well, it would be greatly appreciated. Okay, you guys, let's talk about Ahsoka Part 7, another episode that I really enjoyed, you guys. Was it as good as last week's episode? No, but I still really liked it, and maybe that's, again, just because of my love for Star Wars Rebels, and I've fallen in love with this show so much, you guys. I told my brother, a friend of ours, like, after we were done watching that episode, man, I can't wait for next week. Like, it can't come soon enough. But I also have a gut feeling that they're going to leave it off on another cliffhanger the way that they did with Star Wars Rebels Season 4. And it's going to be like, and stay tuned for the Dave Filoni movie. I think that's ultimately where we're going with this. But yeah, I felt like there were a decent amount of things that happened in this episode, right? Like we see Ahsoka reuniting with both Ezra and Sabine. Something that we've all very much been waiting for. We get to see Ahsoka and Huyang surviving against Thrawn and his fleet. And it's that freaking chess game that Thrawn is always playing where he's freaking 10 steps ahead of everybody. I love seeing Ezra and Sabine catch up with each other after all this time. Okay, all three of us, though, when we were watching the episode, like, we were all thinking the same thing. When Ezra was sitting in the pod and we see Sabine stood up, like, all our dirty minds just went to that place. And in case there are children watching, I'm not going to go into too much detail. But if your dirty minds are thinking it, we were probably thinking it too. I love the moment when Ahsoka reaches out to Sabine through the Force and Sabine senses it. But there was a scene at the start of this episode, you guys, that revolved around Hera and the New Republic. The New Republic freaking sucks. It's the same stuff we've heard before. Oh, there's no Thrawn, there's no war, nothing's coming, you're just overthinking things, you're stupid, Hera, this is never gonna happen. And then freaking Anthony Daniels' voice out of nowhere, and I'm like, that's C-3PO. And so it turns out our girl Leia sent 3PO a message to send to Mon Mothma, and that message is, screw you, I'm making a resistance. That's not the message, but of course, Leia ends up the one who, like, leaves the New Republic to start a resistance, so it all makes sense in that regard. But Leia knows this whole thing is messed up, and she's like, all right, you know what, Hera? I see you. I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna do my thing. Kaz, your dad sucks. That 3PO moment, though, completely took me off guard, you guys. I did not expect that at all. But Carson Teva was there. I think that's like the first time in like the history of ever that I've remembered his name, because I keep forgetting the dude's name like every time that he appears on screen, like whether it be Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, this show. So I finally remembered his name. It's Carson Teva. And he also proved in this opening scene, you guys, that this show does take place after Mando Season 3. Like, we were kind of wondering, like, okay, does it take place after Mando Season 3? Does it take place during that time? Because there was a part of me that was thinking, like, oh, maybe if the Purrgil that we saw in the last episode that Ahsoka was traveling with, maybe that takes place, like, around the time of that first episode when Grogu sees the Purrgil. But I guess not. It definitely takes place after, because they reference what happened on Mandalore and they reference what happened with Moff Gideon. When Kaz's dad is like, the whole Moff Gideon thing proves my point. It's just these random Imperials just, you know, doing nothing. It's like, okay, bro, like if Moff Gideon is out there, who is a highly ranked Imperial, and now you have rumors of Thrawn being out there, don't you think that just raises the slightest bit suspicion of like, hey, maybe the Imperials are regrouping, maybe there is something bigger coming?
There's something dangerous happening out there. All these events, it's not a coincidence. And by the time it becomes big enough for you to act, it'll be too late.
I did love, though, how Hera's like, we have to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And I feel like that really did end Hera's arc in this show. Like, if we don't see Hera for the rest of this show and we gotta wait till the movie, like, I think they did everything in her side of the story that needed to be done. As far as Ezra, Sabine, and Ahsoka goes, though, we ain't done yet. They were traveling around with the frickin' Koopa Troopas, as I dubbed them from last week. They very much remind me of them. And I just loved it when they would chuck rocks at the stormtroopers and they would just, like, it would have no effect on them. Kind of like how in the Mario movie, when those penguins would throw snowballs at Bowser and he's just sitting there eating all of it. Like, this is nothing to me. Peach. It's such a good movie. I really wanted Shin to join Ahsoka. Like, when the Imperials all leave her there, and I'm like, Shin, come on. Like, your masters kind of left you to do your own thing, which very much surprised me. And man, we still don't know Balin's intentions, but I do have my theories. As far as Shin goes, I was really hoping that she would join Ahsoka. Like, join me, I can help you. And then she just runs, and I'm like, darn it! I will say, though, if they have more plans for Balin after this show, like, if Dave wrote his character to, like, be open-ended, to leave room for more stories, like, obviously that's good, but it's just gonna suck that it's not going to be Ray Stevenson who's playing him anymore. I think Balin and Shin together, like, their on-screen chemistry together as master and apprentice is so good. My brother was sitting there the whole time we were watching the episode like, why didn't he just take the lightsaber? And I'm sitting there like, maybe Ezra's got like some new crazy force powers that we've never seen before. But no, it actually just turns out that he's a good fighter. But now our heroes don't have a way back home. So it's going to be all about, well, do they get on that ring when Thrawn goes away? Can they somehow get the Purrgil back? But they were scared off earlier in the episode. Those mines were crazy. It was like they get within a certain range and then they just like lock onto you and then they like blow up in front of you, like, oh, they follow you around. Crazy stuff. Yeah, I'm very excited for next week, you guys. Next week can't come soon enough, but again, I'm also worried. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily a worry, it's just more like, but I want more. I want more of this show. I want more of these characters. I love this so much. I think if I did have a worry, is that by the end of this show, they're gonna make me so hyped for the Dave Filoni movie that I'm not gonna care about anything else that they have coming out. Like, whether it be Skeleton Crew or Mando Season 4 or whatever else they have going on, like, all I'm gonna care about is the Dave Filoni movie. But I think it's also just a credit to him because the content that he's making right now, like, I want more of it. This is the Star Wars I want more of. These are the characters I want more of. These are the stories I want more of. And I've said it before, it's not going to be for everybody, but it's something for me. And I don't care if I'm the only one that likes this stuff. This is my everything, you guys. To make a pro wrestling reference that no one will understand, but I'm going to make anyway, when AEW first started and Chris Jericho on that first pay-per-view that they did cut a bad guy promo was saying like, this isn't a company for the fans, this is a company for me. That's kind of how I feel about this show. This show isn't for the fans, this show is for me. Obviously I'm being facetious. This show is of course for the fans, but if not for anything else, it's a show for me. So I'm happy and that's what I care about. I do believe, and Dave Filoni has said this before himself as well, that each generation needs to have their own piece of Star Wars. And I feel like this Star Wars, like the Clone Wars, Rebels, it's much as a part of Star Wars as any of the movies were back in 1977 and the years to come. And I feel like that, like, Clone Wars and Rebels was my everything growing up. It was such an important part of my life. And to be able to have more content that follows up on all of that, this Dave Filoni universe, the Filoni-verse, if you will, means everything to me. I don't expect people to agree. I don't even expect people to understand. I just know what I love and what I want from Star Wars. And this is what I want. So yeah, you guys, I think I've rambled on enough this week, you guys. That is going to wrap us up for today. I cannot wait for next week. Make sure you guys are staying tuned for that finale episode. I cannot wait, and I hope you all can either. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Again, I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers over here, you guys. If you guys could help me do that, it would be greatly appreciated. Share this video to help me out, support the channel, grow the channel, and I will see you guys next time.
Too bad. I really thought Navarro was gonna make it.
I'm gonna forward this to Coruscant. Request permission to intercede.
They haven't returned a dispatch in weeks. They're swamped. They'll never get an answer in time.